Hello and welcome back to Star Citizen. My name is ArchangelIIX and today we're back on the grind trying to do some missions and make some UEC so we can buy our first craft and pump out the UEC after that point. So let's go ahead and get to it. Starting off as always, let's go ahead and take a look at my UEC, which is right here, 1,820,496. I did have to spend just a little bit to get a few items and get ready for today's adventures. And then we have our first mission. We're going to go ahead and go to Daymar, the Brios location, which we all, some of us older players know that Brios can be kind of an iffy spot to go to. You always have to be careful about going to Brios. So let's go ahead and head over there. Let's pick up our SCU of waste and bring it back here to Seraphim Station and make a little bit of money. Now, we're going to be moving kind of slow with this episode because we're going to be using the Aurora until we can get the money to buy our Fortune or our Vulture or our Prospector. We're not decided on which one yet, so let's go ahead and just get to it, right? What are we waiting for? So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to open up my ship here. We'll take off. We'll head over to Daymar. See you in a moment. All right, so we are at the Daymar area. Now we're going to go ahead and jump over to Brios. And, more than likely we won't run into anybody, but there's always a chance that we will. So we're going to keep our eyes open and see. Sometimes there's people on the ground ready to set up an ambush, either with a boom tube, a ballista, a storm. It doesn't matter what it is, but sometimes that does happen. And so we just got to make sure we're paying attention to what's around here when we arrive. So let's get in here kind of quick and see if there's anything in the air just from the get-go, right? Okay, so pulling up so far, nothing too crazy. We do have a C1 Spirit on the ground. Now, the number one rule of seeing a ship on the ground is maybe give it a scan, see if it belongs to somebody. If it belongs to somebody, you might have a problem. If it's a game rule ship, then more than likely, they won't be here. We got an open cargo door, ship's landing right by the pad. There's a good chance that somebody might actually be here. So, let's go ahead and give it a scan. Let's take a look. Yes, so the owner is GM Gallon. Gallon? Yeah. So there's a good chance that they are here. All right, so I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to turn off the scanner here. Where are you? Kind of want to see. Okay, he's bringing up his own little delivery here, so that's perfectly fine. What we'll do is we'll head on down there and we'll give him a helping hand so we can go ahead and get our cargo. Who's to know if he even wants a helping hand, right? He might just turn around and shoot us. Let's hope not. Okay. You can never be too certain. Now that eyeball on the top left of the screen should hopefully give us the protection of, hey, maybe don't shoot me, But we'll see. Sometimes people just want to defend their property. Understandable, right? Okay, good. So he's pretty much done here. We'll wait for him to leave. I think he's done here. So we'll wait for him to leave. Give him the good old flashlight hug, you know what I mean? Being like, hey, we're friendly, we're not here, no harm, So let's drop down our cargo really quick and grab our boxes. Let me just go see here. Drop that down. Drop this one down. Perfect. And then we'll go ahead and grab our stuff and hope that when they take off, they're just straight on out of here. I was going to help them load up, but they only had a few boxes, so no problem. Let's go ahead and get everything we need onto the cargo grid here. I love the noise of this one. Very industrial. We're here at the salvage place, so might as well sound that way. Oh boy, I feel very unsafe right now. Bye. Goodbye, C1 Spirit. It's a very beautiful craft. Very beautiful craft and definitely worth owning some point in your gameplay. Absolutely. If you're doing cargo, it's a great craft to have. All right. Let's go ahead and bring this up. Look at it go. Look at it go. Okay. Thankfully, no bombers or any shots taken so far, which is good. Let's see if we can grab our cargo boxes and start loading while this thing comes up the ramp. Almost got it. There we go. Oh, nope. I want it to be right there. Perfect. I mean, if anybody wants to steal my boxes of crap, they may go for it. It's literally what it is. It's waste. What are you gonna do, right? All right. There's second one. I know I could just move my ship over here, but it is what it is. Here, what we'll do is we'll just start tossing it like this, making it a little bit quicker here. Ah, yes. Why? Okay. Press the button. It takes a moment, I guess. All right. Next box. I mean, this is going to make us a good 60, 70,000, which is a good starting point for today. And then we'll just continue forth, you know. Obviously, we can go rent another ship and just do mass cargo, but kind of want to slow it down just a little bit. We're getting pretty close to our fortune value of getting the salvage ship and starting our journey there, which honestly is going to be very, very good. Even in 4.8, you can still fracture and disintegrate ships, so no worries of that gameplay disappearing, right? Okay, that's 6 SCU. Where's our 7th? No. Interesting. They seem to be short in SCU. Okay. Well, interesting. Guess we'll just wait for this to transfer to the warehouse. Did I, like, toss a box somewhere I didn't see? Let's see here. Box, oh box, where may you be? Box, oh box, come back to me. I swear I only moved 6 boxes. I'm a little intrigued by what's going on here. Station, are you ripping me off? Well, it's not even a station, but I've been ripped off. Move to elevator. Bring it up. Please come back to me. Huh. Well, I guess we'll get a partial delivery and not all my money. Well then. Okay, time to get out of here. We've spent enough time here at Brios. Any more time here and we're going to be in some trouble. Let's go ahead and close that up. Close that up. I'll give it a good scan before we leave, just to make sure that I didn't misplace that 7th box, but I don't think I did. All right. Let's get into the air really quick and take a look.
Take off.
No. Yes, right there. You see a waste box right there. I wonder if that's my waste box. Look, we'll hop out really quick and we'll grab it. I don't know what it would be doing over here, but maybe the same happened to that guy's hydrogen. Maybe for some reason we got gypped our stuff. All right, let's land right here. And let's hope that we give no problem still, right? All right, open this up here. Contracted. I don't know if this is my waste or if it's even going to count, but we'll give it a shot. What's the worst, right? We just end up, we just turn in a partial delivery. All right, let's take off. Let's move on back to Seraphim and drop it off. All right, we're arriving back at Seraphim right now. We always got to keep an eye out, make sure what's around us. Should be good. Since I'm decoupled, I'm able to make these maneuvers without having to worry about losing any of my speed, but we have to be careful about not running into something in front of me as well. Let's go ahead and call our landing pad here. Seems to be a Polaris getting ripped up by something. Probably the station, honestly. there's a lot of destroyed stuff out of here. Doesn't make me feel too comfortable. Right, we are here, so let's go ahead and just turn it on off and offload our cargo. Let's hope that that 7th box of waste is the one we needed, and for some reason it just ended up a little bit further than it should have been. Because if it's not, we're just gonna have to have a partial delivery. Not good. Right. All right, there is 5 of the boxes. Let's get this 6th one off really quick. And then we'll move the 7th one on there too. And then we'll see if it's like, nope. We ain't taking that one. And just in case, we'll put it over here. We'll put it over here so we don't confuse ourselves to which one's which, right? And then we'll send this on down, hopefully. 7 of 7. I'll take it. Somehow our 7th box got a little bit further than we would assume it did. But good thing I scanned, you know? Not gonna lose our money. Contract's good to go, and perfect. Another 60,000, giving us a total amount right now of 1,882,496. Awesome. So let's continue on here. There's quite a few different things we could do. PvP missions do make a lot of money, but the problem is you're gonna be facing a player, and a lot of times you just don't know who you're gonna be facing. And it might not go so well, especially if it's 1 versus 20, and it's not always a good idea, right? But you could walk into like any of these gauntlets if you wanted to and make a little bit of cash. But again, you have to be very wary of the starter vehicle you're with. So let's take a look at the stellar contracts again and see if we can find something. Let's not do stellar. Let's do planetary. See, 10 SCU, it just isn't going to work. The extra small has to be 7 or lower. So this one would work. I'll just download a Seraphim. But I kind of want to go back to Deacon's Research Outpost, Seraphim Station, Brios Breaker Ward. Okay, I kind of want to go back here. But the problem is I can only carry 8 SCU, technically. So I think I'll just skip on that. I'll skip on that for now. Let's see, what other extra smalls do we have here? We might be able to make it work. So let's see what we could do about potentially putting a box through the doorway. You know what I mean? So we'll grab that contract if I can find it again. Here it is. 9 SU. We can do 8 on the grid. So if maybe potentially we could fit a box through the doorway, we might be able to do all 9. Let me take a look at our dimensions here. Yeah, I think we'll make this work. Let's go ahead and close that up. Put the box right on in here. Maybe. It'd be interesting to see, but usually doorways are big enough to fit at least a box, so let's give it a shot. Let's head right back to Brios and do it again. Okay, so we're back in the air over Daymar and heading towards Brios. I do have a radar contact to my left, and it is a constellation, so we have to be very wary about that. I don't want to cause them trouble because they do have some really big guns, but then again, all I need to do is just get up behind them and they won't really ever be able to hit me. But let's just keep an eye on them. Make sure that they don't come towards us. For now, it looks like they are heading out of here, though, so that's good. All right, let's bring this on down really quick. Let's make sure that we continue. Okay, I don't think they're going to be a problem. I'm going to turn off tracking on them. We're going to go ahead and bring this ship down. I need to check where we're at. So, yeah, right here should be good. This should be perfect.
Landing complete.
They're still 20 kilometers away. We'll take that as a sign that we should be all right and that they're searching for something else, right? And if we're wrong, we might just not have a ship here in a moment. At least we're on the ground, so we'll create havoc one way or another. Let's go ahead and drop that. Let's go ahead and drop this. We'll send it down and grab all 9 boxes. Let's see what we can do. Worst case, we have to come back here for the one last box, but hopefully it won't be the case. Let's go ahead and just double tap that for a second. If it ever gets stuck like that on screen, you just got to exit the menu completely and re-enter the terminal. So that should allow you to get that to work. What a beautiful planet, though. I love Daymar. So much fun. All right, still transferring. Gotta wait for these doors to close. Nice, okay. Go ahead and grab all 9. Still transferring. All right, let's see what we can do, huh? I think the #1 test would just be to grab this box and just try putting it through the door right now. You know, let's just give it a shot. I don't know if it's gonna fit. This is a pretty big box. It's a pretty small doorway. Oh, we got this. We got this. No problem. No problem. Okay. We'll just set you right here. Like on the ground. Right there on the ground. Give me enough room to walk by. That'll work. That'll work. That'll work. Yeah. All right. Let's grab all the rest of the boxes and get it loaded up. I learned my lesson about getting too close to that access point, you know? You gotta be careful. Sometimes the planet might eat you like a worm. All right. Yeah, a couple more boxes here. Maybe don't hit the explosive warhead. It's always good. Good lessons. There we go. We're almost there, and then we can get on out of here, and then we'll see how close we are to getting our fortune. Sounds like we're about to make it rich. We might if we can actually get one of those career ships. You know, we could even go for like something with combat too, instead of picking a profession at all, and just go out there and do a bunch of hunting and, you know, stuff out in the verse when it comes to like mercenary contracts. We could even do something like that if we wanted to. But with the profession style ships, you at least have a guarantee of money, no matter what you're doing, right? Salvage, mining, any of that, you have a guarantee that you're going to have a job. You're always going to have something to do, and you're going to make money off doing it. Especially if you find a rare enough resource that somebody wants, right? I don't see our contact anymore. Let's go ahead and lift off. Make our way out of here. All right, back to Seraphim we go. All right, so we're here back in Seraphim. Let's see if we can get this box actually out of here. Yeah, okay, perfect. Always a concern when you get it into something like that. Can you actually get it back out? But we got it, we got it. So there's one of our boxes. Let's go ahead and drop out on this ramp. Oh, thank you. I love all the nifty little areas for cargo boxes and stuff. A lot of fun. There's another one there. Let's go ahead and grab this one. Perfect. And then we just have the rear cargo to go ahead and grab the boxes from. I think the modularity is a lot of fun. Adds really kind of like the ability just to kind of change it up once in a while, right? If you want to go combat, grab a combat module. You want to do this, go grab that module. It's really cool, and I really can't wait to see the Robert Space Industries Galaxy coming to the verse here in November. That's going to be very exciting, very exciting. But for right now, we have a Defense Con here coming up here soon. And we got I got a new Aegis ship, new Anvil concept. You got the new Origin M80 coming about. Oof, that thing looks just striking. The Mist Starlight, the Ironclad, or as people call it, the Iron Chad. And then you got the iron ass, which is the iron assault, or ironclad assault, which is going to be fantastic as well. So, can't wait, can't wait. Let's go ahead and turn that in. Perfect. Maybe as Evenlease here, we'll upgrade to something bigger like that sooner or later, right? All right, good. Got another one done. Let's see how much money we have. Now sitting at 1,944,000. As you can see, I mean, I've been here for maybe like 20 minutes and I've already made enough money to bring us up quite a bit. You know, it's not bad. Over 100,000 UEC just by 2 runs, no interference. It's pretty good. Now, that's not to say you're not always going to have no interference, especially if you go to a place like Brios. So you have to be pretty wary of that, pretty careful. So let's see, what else can we grab here? I'm almost curious. I'm almost curious, right? Another one for Brios. 8 SCU, 62,000, I'll do it. You know what I mean? Brios so far hasn't given me any trouble. Let's hope it stays that way. But I'm netting 60 grand a pop here, and this is really easy back and forth work right now. With such a small ship and not actually renting anything this time, because not every time should you just go out and rent something if you don't want to. Use the ship you have. You have the ship for a purpose, and it does have the ability to do quite a bit, given its role as a starter ship, right? So we'll go ahead and take off, head to Brios, and go again. I think I do have a bottle of water on me, so I'll drink some water after this delivery. All right, so we're back here now, and we're grabbing the boxes. You got a nice 8 of them, so that fits perfectly on this thing, right? 60 grand, 8 boxes, no problem. Let's go ahead and set this on down, and we'll go ahead and set this one on down. Perfect. Now it's just time to load it up and get out of here before, you know, anybody tries to cause trouble. All right, there's 1. There's 2, and 3, and 4, and 5. Yes. Cargo. We'll go drop this off at Seraphim. See how much money we have at that point. And maybe grab a drink since we're getting a little bit parched. Go ahead and close that up. And close that one up. Perfect. And we'll go ahead and close this up and head on out of here. Beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Going to Brios 3 times in a row without any conflict is always a positive in my book. Like I said, ever since the events kind of stopped happening here, it's simmered down a little bit, but it's not impossible that you're not going to see people, right? Not impossible. All right, we look good. We've gotten everything we need. Oh, it's time to leave. All right, so just offloading that mission now. We'll see what we got here. Good old 8 SCU, you know. Perfect. All right, let's go ahead and bring this on over. And then after this, we're going to need to grab a drink, which I think I have one on me, thankfully. Yes, I did, indeed. There we go. Let's go ahead and send it down. And send. All right. Perfect. Mission complete. Hooray, hooray. All right, let's take a look. Wait for that delivery to go through, and bingo. See how much money we have now. We're at 2 million. Right? 2 million. Here we go. 2,006,000. Okay, right. 2,006,496. That is pretty awesome. That's a good amount of money. So let's go ahead and take a drink really quick, and then see what it'll take to get us into our first ship and what ship we want to finalize with, because we could go a couple routes here, and I'm not sure 100% which route ArchangelIIX really wants to get into yet. Maybe we'll find out here in just a second. All right, so on the way to picking my new ship, which we're going to be picking up here in a short minute, I'm taking this quick detour to see if I can find any extra loot for components, right? Because if we can find any components that are on the ground at a path site, maybe some FRs, maybe some nice coolers, or power supplies, honestly, it'll prevent us from having to spend the money on it, on the craft that we're going to go buy. Not that we really need too much of it, because we are going to go into a gameplay loop, right? We're going to pick up a vehicle that is going to make us money and not have to worry about picking up missions per se. So that is pretty nice. So let's hop over here and hope that there's nobody picking any fights right now. So far it looks like, you know, you got a lot of destroyed crap, but I'm not seeing anything in the air, which is good, right? Let's pick a site. That one's got a lot of red stuff. Oh, we got a hornet over here, actually. Harm toucher. Okay, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. Let's head over this way instead. Oh, they're closing fast. I think they want some beef. Do I have any? No, I got infrareds. Okay, so let's see what he wants. He might be turning away, so maybe no problems at all. I don't really want to get into a scuffle, but I will if I need to. All right, he's turned away. Everything looks fine so far. We'll see what happens. You know, he'll probably come, maybe pick a fight later. There's not too many reasons why a hornet is in the area, you know what I mean? He looks like he's rocking some sort of ballistic repeaters, though, like Revenant. That looks like a stock loadout F7A. Yeah. I think we should be good. Honestly, I don't think you even can see my scan anymore, so that's good. All right, now that we're kind of in the clear here, we'll go ahead and make our way to the site. Here, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put my landing gear down while targeting him, so he can get a docking request command. See if he turns around, gets interested. He's like, well, I don't want anybody docking in my area, and so I'm trying to draw him in a little bit there, you know? Because I think he doesn't want to fight, though. That's good. That's good. I mean, I'm always up for practicing, though. So, all right, let's go ahead and bring it down nice and slow, I guess. Don't have too much accessibility for components here. Components are easier grabbed if they are coming out of this hangar to my left, and that's closed. So what we'll do is we'll check the red rooms for some additionals. See if there's anything in the red rooms. I hope I made it. Hope I made it easy for me to get out of this. So now, understandably, we are putting ourselves at a major disadvantage. We are now on the ground where we are an easy target. If that hornet decides, you know what, screw it, the guy's landed, I'm gonna go over there and destroy his day. He could. He really could. So let's try not to create too much conflict here while we look for our parts.
Don't seem right.
Well, no, it probably isn't right. What do we got? We got a heat safe and a polar. I'll take the polar. Hold on, I gotta deal with this guy really quick.
Hey, what is that?
All right, let's take this polar. Honestly, the heat safe's probably not a bad grab either. More the merrier, you know? More the merrier. Let's take this polar and put it into the cargo grid. Ah, yes, the AI wanting to start a fight, babe. You know, they're trying to write a check they can't cash, and here we go. Let's get to it, shall we? Oh, my gun is acting a fool again. All right. You see that weird lagginess with the gun? It's acting like, okay. Here we go, here we go. So you shouldn't be acting that way. I think this one that I have is bugged. But either way, we'll take care of it. Not a problem, not a problem. All right. Ooh. Didn't even see this guy here. I don't know what's going on right now because I can't seem to do much. So let's try not to die, yeah? All right. Let's pull out our gun. Let's reload. Let's try that again, okay? And then we will take care of any problems right directly in front of us.
Here we go. Damn it, that hurts.
Make sure we reload one more time. Okay, here we go.
Cutters, not lively. Shit, we're under attack. Oh shit, I'm hit.
And this Karna seems to be having some major issues. And it did this to me the last episode too. So I don't know what's going on there. Which one is this one again? This one is the heat safe, right? Stealth. Ooh, the stealth one. I like stealth ones. C, B, don't matter. Stealth is good. I like these stealth coolers. As much as I can, I'll grab these. And then let's go pick up our new ship here after we are done. So far, we're all right. Running a little low on ammo. Let's see if there's any more Karna ammo around here. Wow. Now, getting into this server today, I did feel like there was a bit more latency issues than normal, I would say. So, probably would have been good for me to switch servers. But here we are. Ah, Karna. Sweet. All right. I'm going to check one or two more rooms, and while I'm here, if the red key card's available, I might as well grab it. I think we got some enemy contacts above us. Grab the red key cards when you can, store them away. You know, you never know when you might come back to Hathor and actually need them.
Key card ready.
Yes, I'd like to store this, please.
Go ahead. Not a problem.
Ow. Okay. That door over there is shut. I don't really want to use my red key card right away, so I'd rather just see if this door is open. Perfect. All right, let's check for a little bit more ammo while I'm here. I'm just going to press I. With most recent updates to Star Citizen, you can just area loot using your boxes here on the top right. As long as you're near the box, it'll grab them for you. So it makes it a bit easier. All right, nothing that I really want here. Any components? What are you? Let's see. Veil. I'll take it. I'll take it. I like the veils. Good stealth drive, for sure.
I got you covered.
I got you covered. All right, let's head back to the ship. Let's get on out of here. And then we will head on over to Lorville for our ship purchase. All right, we're pulling into the city of Lorville on Hurston. Nothing worse than being here, right? So let's go ahead and call an hangar once we get close. Right, we're at about 16 kilometers, give or take, from the hangar area. So I'm going to wait to call it until we are within 10. And then we should be able to get it first try. We're almost there. So I'm going to go ahead and untarget you and go ahead and call it now. Perfect. And then once we get a hangar, we'll go ahead and land and go buy our ship. So here's how this is going to work, right? This was just a simple episode to get us enough money to have a little bit of leeway, buy our ship, and then the next episode will be basically using this ship and trying to make as much money as possible you know, running back and forth and just continuing to do so as we collect more and more money, resources, and everything we need to continue buying more and more ships and having a great time exploring different mission areas and items like the Nyx Rock Breaker Station, as well as many other things like the tech smuggler mission, the new tactical strike groups, which we'll have to do with a group.
Welcome to
Yeah, we'll definitely need a group for that one. You were able to kind of solo it in the beginning days of the PTU, but they added 15 billion different AIs now, like Perseuses, Hammerheads, Paladins, all sorts of stuff, and it's quite crazy, so you definitely need a team now for that. Now, outside of that, yeah, I think we're fine. We'll go ahead and just shut it down. Outside of that, you know, it's just exploring every other mission thing we can, especially a lot out there in the Pyro system. A lot of things we can go do over there. So we'll get this ship first, which is, of course, the Misk Fortune. We're going to salvage a bunch until we have enough money to pick up a nice fighter. Now, by nice fighter, I mean something along the lines of maybe a Buccaneer, an Arrow, a Gladius. I'm going to probably skip the Saber. I'm not a fan of the Saber just because of the way the health pool is spread across the body makes it a very easy target to kill. And then looking at everything else, we just got to go from there. We'll probably add some people to the video chain here sooner or later, just to kind of breach into the multi-crew aspect of the gameplay, and check a lot of these things out. Now, as we walk over here, you have to know that these areas always have so many lines. Well, typically, right now it's empty, but yeah. So let's find Misk. No, not Mirai. Then we'll go down to the Fortune. Ooh, 1,795,000. Beautiful. Go ahead and purchase that. Our first big purchase here, guys. That's amazing. So we have 210,000 left in the wallet, just to confirm. 210,000 left. We have now the Misk Fortune in our hangar here at Lorville. So the number one thing is going to be, of course, outfitting it, which we don't really have to. We're just going to be fracturing and disintegrating 100%, just because that makes a good amount of money and it's the easiest thing to do to load it up fast. It does make a good amount of money too, so I wouldn't want to have it any other way. Now, before we end this video, I will have to go back into the hangar. I'm going to call my well, no, I might as well. I'm just way over there now. Let's go back to the hangar. Let's grab everything out of the Aurora Mark II that we sent down. We'll send it back up. We'll grab everything out of there, and then we will store it here. And maybe we can see if we can move some of it over to the Fortune, which would be good, right? Maybe put a stealth cooler on there and some other items. So let's grab that really quick. Let's go ahead and retrieve the Mark II. Hooray! Second ship added. I mean, I'm not counting the rock, right? Because it's not a ship. You could try to. Oh, wow, that was instant. All right, I'll take it. Sure, no complaining. I said no complaining. All right. We got the Veil, which I don't want to lose, so I got to be careful about where that goes. There we go. Nope. We got the Polar. Okay. And then we have the other one, the stealth one. Here we go, the heat safe. I'd rather use the heat safe than the Polar on the Fortune, honestly. Going with the stealth loadout is going to be the better route overall, but you want to be as undetectable as possible in an industrial ship that can't defend itself. Yeah. Sure, let's send that down. Let's go ahead and send this down.
To the ASOP, your vehicle has been repaired.
And then we'll go here. We'll go to vehicles. We'll go ahead and choose the Fortune. And of course, we will start all the way at the left. Go to Snowfall. Oh, these are size 2, so not using those coolers either way. But we can put the Veil on here, so I'll actually work on doing that. And then I'm going to go ahead and remove these two, because guess what? The less shield generators you have, of course, the less shield you have, but also the less detectable you are because you're not outputting so much energy. So I'm going to keep it to 1 shield generator with the other 2 being empty. If I really truly get attacked, I don't think the shields are going to be the most of my worries, right? And then I'll have to work on finding some size 2 coolers and a size 1 power drive as well. Well, actually, the power plant's a size 2 as well, but also a size 1 quantum drive, which we'll swap that out later. The bulldogs need to go as well. Probably put something on there like some ballistic cannons or whatnot. But this is the end of this episode of Breaking Even. Let's go ahead and give it a call here and say that the next episode is going to be pretty, fun. I like the idea of going around salvaging areas, being in the hot zone, Thank you for watching, and thank you for being here. And of course, you guys are all truly amazing. I'll see you all in the next one. Let me tell you something real quick. When you see me looking around in game, that's not a trick, that's beam eye tracking doing the work. Its newest version is now in beta and completely removes the need for open track, giving you seamless integration between the software and the game. It's easy to set up, runs clean, and you can use it with a webcam, iPhone, or Android device. And it's only $30. One program, less overhead, smoother tracking. Grab beam eye tracking through the link below to support the developer directly and stop running multiple apps when you want to feel more immersed in what you're doing. If you're building a new PC, go through longshipindustries.com, a veteran-owned mom-and-pop business that takes pride in every single build. He built my personal rig, which you can actually see featured on the website. The care, warranty, and customer support are top tier. Trust Longship Industries for your next build.